Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on Ctv3 News, Curacao police investigate death of 75-year-old South African resident. Tragedy strikes family in San Pedro town ahead of Father's Day. A man from Curacao is charged for 4 counts of rape. He is accused of abusing his 12-year-old stepdaughter. And Belize Airport Authority concludes security contract agreements and continues investigating tendering process. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, June 16th, 2025.
Electricity powers our lives, but it must be handled safely and correctly. That is why it is not only important, but essential to be a licensed wireman. Being licensed means you are trained, tested, and trusted to do the job according to acceptable industry standards. To become a licensed wireman, the first step is to take the PUC Wireman License Exam, which is the only path to becoming officially recognized to carry out electrical installation and submission of electrical design plans to the PUC. PUC's Wireman License Exam provides evidence that the applicant possesses the necessary knowledge and expertise to be licensed in a specific profession or for a specific scope of work, assures the public that the person passing the exam is qualified to practice within the scope of the license without causing electrical safety concerns to the public. All individuals who have successfully passed the exam are issued a PUC wireman license according to their category. The PUC reminds the public, 1. Only a licensed wireman can submit your electrical design for approval. And 2. Choose a licensed wireman to ensure your electrical project is safe and up to standard.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. Authorities in Curacao are currently investigating the death of a 75-year-old male of South African nationality, Marvin Hartoon. According to reports, Hartoon resided in Consejo Village, Curacao. Neighbors became concerned after not seeing him for several days, and noticing his prolonged absence, they contacted authorities. Upon arrival, police discovered Hartoon's body inside his residence in a state of decomposition. The circumstances surrounding his death are still unclear, and investigators are working to determine the cause.
A neighbor of Langard reported to police that he had not seen him for a few days, which caused him to become concerned as that is out of the norm for him. Police visited the residence, and after unsuccessfully trying to communicate with anyone therein, the premises was breached and they were immediately confronted with the odor of decomposition. The body of Hartoon was discovered, and a preliminary inspection of the body did not disclose any sign of injury. The body of Hartoon is now at the National Forensic and Science Services Laboratory, where it awaits a post-mortem examination.
He's a resident of Belize, so he's living here now?
Yes, he resides in Consuelo Village.
And likely it was natural causes.
The indication from a superficial inspection of his body does not suspect foul play to be involved. However, the post-mortem examination would give a more conclusive determination of that.
Cops have detained and charged a man accused of engaging in sexual relations with his 12-year-old stepdaughter. The incident occurred in the Curacao district. According to the complainant, the alleged abuse occurred over several years. She claimed that her stepfather inappropriately touched her during June 2019 and forced her to engage in inappropriate contact. Furthermore, she stated that her stepfather had engaged in sexual relations with her on at least 3 occasions, including sometime in 2019 and twice in 2025. After investigating the allegations, police charged the man for 4 counts of rape and 3 counts of sexual assault.
Police have formally arrested and charged a 39-year-old male person for 4 counts of rape and 3 counts of sexual assault. The male person was subsequently arraigned before the Corozal Magistrate Court and later remanded to the Belize Central Prison.
Was the person known to the victim?
Yes. That is the reason why the identity of that individual is not disclosed.
Authorities are investigating a robbery that took place on Saturday morning at Cap Technologies located on San Antonio Road in Orange Walk. The broad daylight robbery occurred around 10:30 a.m. when a male person of Hispanic descent entered the business armed with a handgun and demanded money and cell phones from the cashier.
The proprietor of that store reported that a Hispanic descent male person entered the business place and pointed a firearm at the cashier, demanding that she handed over money and cell phones. The male person stole a total of 6 cell phones and made good his escape. Police's investigation into this matter continues. That has not been quantified as yet.
The individual made good his escape with more than $7,000 in cash and items. Government officials, industry leaders, and key stakeholders gathered today for an emergency high-level meeting to confront the growing agriculture crisis threatening Belize's northern sugar industry. The urgent session held at the CERDI headquarters in the Corozal district brought together representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Economic Development, the Sugar Industry Research and Development Institute, CERDI, the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, CCCCC, the Climate Resilience Sugarcane Agriculture Project, CRESAP, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, among other stakeholders. The meeting centered around the devastating outbreak of the Fusarium fungus, which is currently grappling cane fields in the north. Preliminary assessments indicate that if the spread is not quickly contained, the economic fallout could cripple the sugar industry, which remains a vital pillar of the national economy and a primary source of livelihood for thousands of Belizean families. This year alone, Agriculture Minister Jose Mai says the industry stands to lose over $50 million in production as compared to last year.
We don't want to sound alarmist. We don't want to be sensational here, but we have to say the truth. The sugar industry is in serious crisis. I think today we arrived at the 853,000 ton mark. We are 119,000 tons behind in harvest compared to last year. We are 23,000 tons of sugar short, calculating that we may be, compared to last year, $53 million short this year in proceeds from sugar and molasses. We don't know if we'll make it to the 900,000 ton mark. From the reports seen today at this meeting, we are not sure what the size of the crop will be next year. The experts on the ground are saying that Fusarium disease is spread across the northern region. So every single cane field has it. The severity of the infection is what is different. Some have severe infection, others barely showing it. But as the rainfall continues, you will see that beginning of the crop next year, the majority of fields will be showing serious infection levels because the spores, as we are being told today, are spread during the rainy season.
Since its inception in late 2024, the Fusarium fungus, known for its aggressive spread and resistance to conventional treatments, has spread to virtually 100% of cane fields across the northern districts, spelling very bad news for the upcoming season.
Next year, we will see a smaller cane crop. The question is, how much smaller will it be, and what is the minimum needed for the mill to operate efficiently? Some believe that if the harvest reduces, if the amount of cane out there reduces to, say, 600,000 tons, which is half of what we used to do. Mexico has 50% drop in production today. They are not sure if we're going to have another crop. If our crop, and that's because they have a much better price than what we have in Belize. The discussion today was around what is the minimum that BSI could survive with. Now, they can do maybe 220 tons per hour as minimum. You see maybe 180.
Any less would not be?
Any less would not be efficient for them. That means that we'll have a shorter crop. Instead of 210 days, we'll have 150 days or 110 days crop. But BSI has fixed costs, and I can't speak on behalf of BSI. I shouldn't speak on behalf of BSI. They can explain themselves better. But from what we are observing and what we know, is that any company cannot operate with a small crop. You have fixed costs, you have a number of people employed that you pay based on the cane that you are processing. And if you don't meet, then what you do the people at the mill. So our concern is not over the sugarcane farmers, it's about the industry, it's about how many people can survive a BSI. So we are discussing today the agriculture aspect, the disease aspect, and how do we move forward.
With the industry fighting to combat this disease, Agriculture Minister Honorable Hassan Mai says actions must be taken swiftly and collaboratively to mitigate the damage and safeguard the future of the industry.
What we have with us today, people from 5Cs, we have people from ICA. We have, Ministry of Agriculture has allocated $2 million from the CRESA project to CIRDI to strengthen their capacity to produce the biological control, which is another fungus. This fungus will, supposing it works in other countries, will supposed to control the Fusarium fungus. So we are working towards that. We have secured funding from ICA. While I was at Baku at COP 29, I did source funds to help CIRDI. So CIRDI, ICA is working with the University of Belize to isolate and to culture our own biological control fungus in Belize, and to see how well it colonizes and controls the disease-causing organism. So that is one thing that we're doing with ICA. CIRDI here is doing their own culturing and growth and experiments to see which of the funguses that we have imported is working well to control the Fusarium. That's only the biological control aspect of controlling the disease. The disease has to be controlled using integrated approach. That's only one control. We haven't looked at the fungicide, which we don't want to use because it's very toxic to humans and to the environment. It's not good. We have to use it to be in very small quantities and well managed. We haven't looked yet at the biology, at the resistant or tolerant varieties. For us to access varieties from other countries is very expensive, but I think we found that we are wrong. That Ministry of Agriculture, my ministry is prepared to partner with somebody else to bring in varieties that are tolerant, and we want to try them out. We are, my CEO and I just spoke briefly as now along my advisor to see how we can partner with somebody to do it, and we are willing to do it. But it is a serious concern. It is of serious concern to us. And so we also have somebody here from the Ministry of Economic Transformation.
Working on a collaborative approach, the Ministry of Economic Development also committed to exploring emergency funding options and engaging with international partners to mobilize resources for the industry's recovery.
But to add to that, the prices on the world market have dropped from $94 last year, which was the price paid out from $87 paid to the farmers. Today we're talking about $54. That's a serious drop. So there are many problems, and so we have to find ways to try to solve and to try to save this industry from further declining. So we are meeting, that's the purpose of this meeting today, and see, well, there is also some good news is that at least one trial, one demonstration using biological control and other inputs seem to be doing well. If that is the case, then we need to invest. Now we have to look at the source of investment for the industry. We have to look at what the Commission of Inquiry has recommended to add revenues to the farmers. We have to look at what 5Cs can do. We have to look at what CRESAP can do. We have to look at all sources of revenue. How can we increase revenue for the farmers? How can we fix the soil? We're talking about biochar. We're talking about, we are looking at possibilities. We are looking at adding value to what remains the field, the biomass, rastrojo they call it. How can we, is it possible that we convert that to biochar, add the biochar to the soil to improve the health, the soil health? We have abused on soil. We've burned cane fields for 50 years. It doesn't burn cane field, you burn the soil, you burn the soil. So you burn the natural microorganisms in soil that could have been the biological control for the fungus. So now the fungus is strong because we've eliminated all the beneficial fungus, all the beneficial microbes in the soil, and now we have this powerful fungus that we have to deal with. And so all of these things are being discussed today. But I think we'll have to make a report to Cabinet on this matter very shortly, and to see what is the best way to chart the industry forward. No?
Despite the alarming situation in which the industry currently finds itself in, Minister Mai says farmers must not lose confidence and continue to work together for the survival of their livelihoods.
From the reports we're getting is that farmers are not doing much, from the reports we're getting, to improve the quality. They have said the quality is, at this time, I think it is 11.4 tons of cane to 1 ton of sugar. Last year we were at 9.25, which is excellent. I mean, compared to now, it's horrible. The last time the quality of sugarcane was this, the ratio was in 2010 when we commissioned Belcogen. The TCDS was at 12.25, which is horrible, right? So, so farmers have been informed that, we need to improve the harvesting practices, best practices, but it hasn't, there's no evidence that it's happening. And so the question we have to ask is, have the farmers lost hope in the industry, right? And I think we have to do that investigation and research out there. Have you lost hope in the industry? Some may argue the point that, it doesn't matter what I do. If I improve my quality, if I do best harvest practices, the price is still depressed. And so why should I continue? And so these are the questions and these are the matters we have to deal with at this time. Have the farmers lost hope in the industry, right? How can we instill hope again? What do we do to ensure that farmers get better prices? How can they increase improve their yields, their productivity. And so these are the challenging questions that we are faced with right now. But we will not allow the industry to just die of natural cause. We will do our best to get this industry up.
Further technical assessments and field inspections are scheduled for the coming weeks as authorities intensify efforts to develop an effective action plan. The Belize Airports Authority, BAA, announced today that it has successfully secured deeds of release from its two security service providers for Diamond Security Limited and iSecurity Limited. This development marks the formal conclusion of all contractual obligations between the BAA and these firms effective immediately. Despite concluding its contractual relationships, the Belize Airports Authority reaffirmed that it remains committed to transparency and accountability. The authority is currently conducting an in-depth investigation into the controversial tendering process that led to the awarding of the airport security contracts. This inquiry aims to scrutinize the procurement procedures and ensure that all processes adhere to established regulations and best practices. The authority has indicated that it will take any further necessary steps based on the findings of the ongoing review. The security tendering process has been a topic of public interest and scrutiny in Belize amid concerns over transparency and fairness in government procurement. Coming up next, the USDA expands the list of regions affected by dangerous parasite, including Belize and El Salvador. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Louis and I'm the local Salinas.
Olá, meu nome é Débora, sou natural de Belo Horizonte.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Mi nombre es Luis Jesús Galván.
I am Inga Jackson and today I'm going to donate blood.
Bueno, hoy es día de ir a donar sangre.
E hoje eu vou efetuar minha doação de sangue.
Pues el día de hoy decidí salvar unas cuantas vidas.
Hoy me toca. Vim aqui na Minas doar sangue. Vamos ir a donar.
I've just arrived at the lab for blood donation.
Acabo de llegar al Centro Regional de Hemoterapia.
Então, agora eu cheguei na parte mais importante.
Esta parte es donde ya estamos listos para donar.
So here am I giving blood.
Oigan, pues ya voy saliendo.
Bueno, pues ya me encuentro saliendo del proceso, todo fue excelente.
Bueno, recién llego de donar sangre, la primera experiencia.
Ya van más de 4 meses que doné por última vez.
Desde 2004 que vengo haciendo esto periódicamente.
That feeling that you know you are able to help someone.
Porque a partir daqui minha bolsa de sangue vai para salvar algumas vidas.
No te esperes a necesitarlo, ayúdalo, dona sangre y salva vidas.
Um abraço.
In a heartbreaking incident that unfolded in San Pedro town just a day before Father's Day, a domestic dispute turned deadly in the San Mateo area. On Saturday, Daniel Dano Salazar allegedly fatally injured his father, Rubio Salazar, during a heated altercation reportedly involving their dogs. Sources indicate that the confrontation began when Daniel's pit bull attacked Rubio's dogs, escalating tensions between the two. During the ensuing argument, Rubio reportedly struck his son with a wooden board. In response, Daniel is said to have armed himself with a machete, delivering a fatal blow to his father's neck.
The investigation has so far revealed that Rubio Salazar and his son, 39-year-old Daniel Salazar, got into an altercation with each other, where it is alleged that Rubio struck Daniel with a stick and Daniel inflicted a chop wound to the upper part of Rubio Salazar's body, fatally wounding him. Daniel Salazar was detained, where it was observed that he had a wound to the temple for which he sought medical attention. Daniel Salazar is currently in police's custody, where it is expected that charges will be brought against him during the course of the day.
And self-defense be applied in this case?
Self-defense certainly arises on the facts. However, for a defense of self-defense to be successfully sustained, proportionality is the question. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution will give directions as to what charges are to be levied under the circumstances.
Can you confirm if the father was drinking at the time?
I can confirm that samples were taken from persons that were present and statements were recorded.
And was anyone else at home other than the two?
Other persons were at home.
Did these two, do you know if these two had a violent relationship before this? Like, were there other arguments? Yeah,
That information, I don't have knowledge of that information at this moment.
Rubio Salazar was pronounced dead at the scene, and his body has been transported to Belize City for a post-mortem examination. Authorities have taken Daniel into custody as investigations continue into the circumstances surrounding the incident. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, has officially designated Belize and El Salvador as regions impacted by the New World Screwworm, NWS, a highly invasive parasitic insect that threatens livestock, pets, and native wildlife. This classification follows the recent confirmed outbreaks within these countries, leading to the implementation of import restrictions on certain animals such as horses, cattle, pigs, and dogs entering the U.S. Animals originating from these areas are now required to undergo thorough inspection and treatment prior to entry to prevent the reintroduction of the pest into U.S. territories. In Belize, the situation is escalating rapidly. As of May 7, authorities from the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise, MAFSE, reported 70 confirmed cases of NWS, predominantly in southern and western regions, including Toledo, Stand Creek, Cayo, and parts of the Belize district. Although the initial 90-day quarantine measures have been lifted in zones heavily affected by the outbreak, movement permits and specialized NWS health inspection certificates remain mandatory for animal transit. Before moving animals from infested zones such as Toledo into non-affected areas like Corozal and Orange Walk, treatment with ivermectin or doramectin for equines is strictly required. Pet owners and backyard animal keepers are strongly advised to perform regular wound checks and report any indications of myiasis, the larval infestation caused by screwworms. All animal movements through designated control points, including Sand Hill, Bullet Tree Falls, and Halacte, must adhere to strict declaration and inspection procedures. Non-compliance with Statutory Instrument 143 of 2024, which governs screwworm control efforts, could result in fines up to 5,000 Belize dollars or imprisonment for up to 3 years. Tensions within the United Democratic Party, UDP, boiled over this weekend, erupting into chaos in Belize City as rival factions clashed over a disputed National Party Council NPC meeting. The meeting, called by UDP Chairman Alberto August and the Shine Barrow, was set to proceed despite growing dissent within the party ranks. However, it was abruptly disrupted when opposition leader Tracy Panton arrived at the party headquarters accompanied by a significant number of her supporters determined to halt the proceedings. Eyewitnesses reported a heated and highly charged confrontation as Panton's camp was not allowed to enter the meeting, as they argued that the meeting was improperly convened and did not reflect the will of the broader UDP base. They insisted that the gathering was unconstitutional and accused the party leadership of sidelining key members and attempting to solidify power without consensus.
It's a tragedy what they continue to do to this party, and they should be held to account. It is that, Honorable Hoover Pat tried everything he could for us to deal with these issues internally, so we don't have to keep hemorrhaging in the public, and they have completely disregarded him. I mean, how can a Shine Borough who resigned, and not only resigned, when he resigned, he shared it wide and far with all the members of the media, all the media partners, see, I resign. Not only did he resign from that position, he came in dead last in a 3-man race, and he wants to hijack this party, and we say, no, it will not happen. You cannot seek to unite a party when you exclude more than 50% of the persons who make up legitimately the membership of the National Party Council. It will not happen, it cannot happen, and we will not allow to happen. And if we have to stay every day in court, that is what we are going to do.
Shouting matches, scuffles, and a visible police presence marked the scene. Officers were deployed to keep the peace as tensions threatened to spill over into physical altercations. In an interview, Alberto Agas defended the decision to move forward with the meeting, stating that it was duly called and in line with party procedures.
Yes, while we want to have everybody attend this meeting, for those of you who attended the last meeting of the National Party Council will understand the fact that when we tried to have a meeting with everybody last time, it did not even go beyond the reading of the agenda. Then we broke up the meeting, the party leader was assaulted, the office was broken up. So what we are going to do, we are going to have a small group of people meeting together, and then after we are going to decide, and then the next meeting for the NPC, when the party has been reset, at the ending of August, the whole party will be reset. We are going back to the people, and the people will decide who they want to be their area representatives. And after that has been done, the standard bearer will select his delegates, will select everybody, and then the party will be reset. Then we're going to a meeting of the National Party Council on the 7th of September with a total reset party, and then the party is going to be handed over to the party leader for her to unite the party.
On the other hand, Panton remained defiant, claiming that the leadership was ignoring the voices of many party supporters in the ruse of wanting unity.
For us, it's about the list. It is about the people who support us, the people who come out and work for us elections, the people who blood, sweat, and tears have been poured into this party over 52 years, the people who continue to look to the United Democratic Party for hope. I say, the future of this party is vested in the eyes of the young persons who are looking to us with hope for an alternative to the level of corruption and dismissiveness of this administration. It is vested in the arms of the women who have carried this party over 52 years. It is vested in the footsteps of those who continue to walk the talk and talk the walk. And so those are the people who have been invited to come out to lend their support. It is my understanding that many of my colleagues who are caretakers, even if they were invited, have opted not to come to this NPC because we all agree on one thing. This is not a legitimate National Party Council meeting being held today.
Two longtime party leaders here in the North, Elodio Aragon Sr. and Denny Grijalva, were out on Sunday. Both men expressed their disappointment over the current state of the party and urged for true unification to occur.
It is so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate that this is happening. Bad not only for the unity, but bad for the country and people. Really terrible bad. And I tell you what, with the deal with a crazy man, Shine not correct, that crazy man, I tell you. It is hard to foretell what will happen here. The dynamics are so many. It is difficult. I believe that in a month's time, things will begin to settle. You know, and the moment they have the national convention, then everything will be settled.
But do you we see that that can happen if it is that this side or the side leadership, if I call it like that, continues to impact the delegate list and choose who will be on it.
The UDP, those who are following Tracy will have to be focused, and they will have to find all means, because that guy, that crazy man, is not even elected. So his time is up. National Convention, at the National Convention, his time is up. He's finished. So we are hoping that at the National Convention, a lot of things that have not been settled will be settled.
It's not a reset, and this has nothing to do with unity. This is about a personal agenda that have nothing to do. Then not tell me you love the country and the party when you do those things like that. We need to, if we want to reset and unite, then do the right thing. They have the list of the legit secretaries and chairs of the party. Invite them and invite the caretakers that run the last time. No, remember when the court gave the court. Remember, then said that the two are with the UDP, the ones that run under Shine and the ones that run under Tracy. We are one party. Remember, so no matter in which ticket you may run. You understand? But invite the people that is legit. Invite the candidates that are legit. You understand? But they don't want to do it because they know what will happen.
Reports from the ground on Sunday are that Shine Barrow was chased from the venue by supporters on the ground as he exited the party headquarters, as the meeting was suspended as it did not meet necessary quorum, with only 11 members out of over 100 showing up. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Today we stand at the threshold of progress, having witnessed the physical transformation of this laboratory into a cutting-edge facility that will enhance healthcare services in Belize.
This is an initiative that marks another key achievement of the European Union-funded Health Sector Support Program Belize project, one of the largest health sector initiatives in the country.
I would like to thank our implementing partners, the Pan-American Health Organization and the Ministry of Health and Wellness for the remarkable work that you are doing in the implementation of this project.
With a total investment of over $1.1 million, including the installation of solar panels in the coming months, the Central Medical Laboratory now stands as a model of smart health infrastructure. These improvements go far beyond aesthetics. They address years of structural deterioration, fire damage, and operational limitations. From mold remediation and advanced air systems to new safety features, upgraded electrical and water systems, flood risk mitigation, energy efficient fixtures, and even an expanded working space. This facility now reflects the standard of care and preparedness that Belizeans deserve.
The Ministry of Human Development, Family Support and Gender Affairs, MHDFSGA, through the Department of Human Services, DHS, in partnership with UNICEF, is pleased to announce the launch of a week-long national training aimed at strengthening social work reporting processes critical to Belize's Child Protection Service. The initiative reflects the department's continued commitment to improving casework standards and ensuring the highest quality of care and preparedness for children in need of protection. Scheduled for the week of June 16th to the 28th, 2025, this specialized training will be facilitated by Dr. Greg Nunes, an expert in social policy practice. Dr. Nunes has led the recent comprehensive review and revision of key court-mandated social work reports utilized by DHS social workers nationwide. The 5-day training is tailored for frontline social workers and will cover the following core reporting areas: social inquiry reports, SIR, investigative reports, custody reports, and adoption and addendum reports. Each session will focus on equipping participants with enhanced skills in conducting thorough social investigations and producing comprehensive court-ready reports. These reports serve as critical tools in assessing child welfare, informing judicial decisions, and guiding interventions that uphold the best interests of the child. This initiative highlights the strong partnership between the government of Belize and UNICEF in advancing child protection systems, ensuring that every child grows up in a safe, stable, and supportive environment. Planning is officially underway for Expo 2027, which will take place in Belgrade, Serbia. Following the successful completion of the first International Planning Meeting, IPM, held in Belgrade on June 10 and 11, 2025, information of the objective structure and opportunities have been outlined. Belize was represented at the meeting by Ishmael Quiros, the Executive Director of Beltrade, and Nikki Augustin, Manager for Marketing and Communications. During the meeting, participants received the updates on the progress of the Expo site, visited the construction grounds, and engaged in a showroom experience that offered a preview of what visitors and exhibitors can expect at the Expo. In addition to attending officials' session, the Belize delegation engaged in a valuable networking opportunities with other participating nations and international organizations. Executive Director Quiros also held a bilateral meeting with Nikolai, State Secretary of the Ministry of Internal and Foreign Trade of the Republic of Serbia, to explore how Belize and Serbia can partner to exchange experiences and technical support for development in the areas of digital transformation, orange economy contributions to GDP growth, and athletic capacity building. Belize established bilateral diplomatic relations with Serbia in 2019. GDP and Expo 2027 now presents an opportunity to deepen those ties in the spirit of strengthening friendship and cooperation. Participation in Expo 2027, Belgrade also presents a unique opportunity for Belize to showcase its vibrant and diverse culture, investment potential, and creativity to new markets, while establishing partnerships with countries from across Europe, Asia, and beyond. Through collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Youth, Sports, and Diaspora Relations and the National Institute of Culture and History, Belize aims to promote its national brand on the global stage and foster new avenues for trade, tourism, and cultural exchange. As preparations continue, Belize remains committed to maximizing its participation at Expo 2027 and ensuring that its presence reflects the nation's rich heritage, dynamic people, and growing economic opportunities. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, June 17th, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com, or you can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.